Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. It is raining outside. It is chill, as you can tell. I'm wearing this. It's not cold, but it is chill, so thumbs up for that. Boy, when I woke up and got up, I immediately started wheezing. By the time I got downstairs, I was just dripping. My sinuses were clogged. I could barely breathe. It was hideous. Yay! Thumbs up for allergies. And, of course, front-loading your videos. Hey, if you toss me a like, that'd be awesome. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be very cool. If you could leave me a comment, that'd be double plus good. And I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These are literally beautiful and literally awesome people that are helping to keep me and my aging pet metabolizing. Hokey smokes, it's gonna be tough. I have like 50 bucks of food money left for the rest of the month and 100 bucks left to buy other things for myself and my aging pet. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. If you could help, that'd be awesome. But front loading of videos over. Aside from, you can find the video description for the Patreon and the PayPal and an Amazon wishlist link. Still thumbs up for that. Now it's over. Thumbs up for that. Ooh, itchy arm. Gotta love that. Anyway, it's been a day. I had, of course, sleeping problems yesterday, which destroyed part of my motivation because of hypoxia. I was afraid I wasn't going to get anything at all done. Instead, I was able to record Minecraft. I mean, I still have a ton of solo RPG stuff that I want to do. Some of it involving just playing cards. There are 2 games that have a free-to-play version and then a premium version. They are versions of Dungeon Solitaire. You use a deck of cards to lay out a dungeon, and the cards that come up, you look in the rules to see what happens. The premium version is, instead of just a deck of random playing cards, they're actual custom cards that you flip over. Same, there's a tarot deck Dungeon Solitaire type game where you use a regular tarot deck, or you order their specialized thing and then you play with their specialized tarot deck. So there are still lots of things out there that are easy and fun to do, and I want to show those off. Executive function and executive dysfunction are fun though. Yay. Therapy today, gonna talk to my therapist. So, thumbs up. Oh, my tummy, tum-tum. Ugh. And continuing the whole exercise thing, when I've talked about how I do wall push-ups, when I do them out in the hall here, I set my heels against the door and then I go up against the other wall. Remember, you have to walk through a hallway, so you got about a foot on either side of you and how wide your shoulders are. So when I got my knees up against the wall, behind me, I'm at like this angle. I'm not standing over here at a light angle like this. I'm way over here and then pushing like this to do my wall push-ups. Last night, I got 50 of them done, and I was trying not to chicken wing them. That really pushes and makes it burn under here, and I thought it was going to be working more up here. So, thumbs up. But still, I'm up to 50. I'm halfway up to the 100, and once I hit 100, it's going to be doing it off the floor. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be chicken winging it again, because after all, I got scoliosis, and it pushes my shoulder and stuff forward like this. So this side doesn't do the whole try to keep it straight and normal without the things not working up here. Because, if you don't know, scoliosis is a twisting of your spine, and my upper vertebrae between my shoulder blades and all that, my vertebrae go twisting off to the side like this. So they're still in line, they're just off like this, which pushes this all forward. So my scapula, my shoulder blade back there, just chicken wings out. I cannot lean flat against the wall because the point of my shoulder blade sticks out all the time, just because it's all thrown forward. So yay. Which of course is why it hurts when I lay on my right side after a time, because my shoulder's already squashed forward. Now I'm leaning on it and putting all that pressure on it. Yay. Still though, that's just the way life is. I walked to Walmart last night, of course, and I got stuff and I walked back, so thumbs up. I'm still continuing, of course, to exercise as best I can. And as mentioned during the front part, oh boy, I mean really, I've got $50 worth of food money to buy food for the rest of the month. I have some food, so I'm going to have to start eating a lot less to make it stretch. And then the money that I've got to try and last for the rest of the month buying pet food and pet dirt. On that, last night I went and changed my pet box. Oh boy, I was doing okay breathing wise. And then I put the pet box into a bag so I could get it downstairs and then take it out and get it all cleaned up. Whatever is in either pet dander or pet, waste products or the actual litter box stuff itself, I clogged up instantly. By the time I got outside, I was struggling to get air. I sounded just, it was awful. I was like one of those old accordions. I was just, and I was not getting enough air. It was horrible. I had to deal with people with COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, for people who had been smoking their whole lives when I worked in healthcare. You have to work so slow with these people because they have, instead of full lungs, just tiny briquettes where their lung lobes used to be. They can get out of breath by eating. So you have to work so careful and so slow with these people. That's how I feel at those times. It was a struggle just to stand there and breathe and not get out of breath just because I was standing and breathing. Now, it's not my actual lungs downstairs in here, the alveoli and all that get bad. I clog up in my bronchioles and all that, so these parts clog up. If I cough this stuff up, I can breathe again. But joy. So yeah, it's fun. Past that, I didn't really get much done yesterday. Thumbs up for that. I mean, I did my early vlogging, and then I watched some videos, and then I fell asleep, and then when I woke up, it was a struggle to try and find my motivation, and then I was able to record, and oh boy, rendering took almost 2 hours. And then, of course, I have to upload it, which takes about a half hour, because my videos these days, my Minecraft stuff, I upscale it and do the things at such a higher resolution, and it's high definition, 1920 by 1080. They're almost like 8 gigabyte files that I have to upload, whereas they used to be like, almost a gig and a half. Now they're huge and they take forever, and then they take at least an hour for YouTube to process into their high definition stuff. It's fun though. I do enjoy it, and finally, it's been about 6 or 7 updates, but with Filmora, it used to be before one of these updates, I could zoom in as maximum, just absolute maximum, so that 1 second takes up more than your timeline. You know, your timeline shows this big on your screen, but 1 second is about this big. And it used to be I could whip through that stuff really fast, really quick, and then an update. And then suddenly, if I zoomed in any closer, like 5 seconds on the timeline, it was slow and laggy. I would have to click, hold, highlight, hold, let go, wait, then grab, wait, move, stop, hold, let go, wait. And I was like, it was driving me nuts because it had never done that before. But zoom out, and the further out I zoomed, the more snappy and responsive it got. The latest update, I zoomed in and it was snappy again. So, oh, thank goodness for that. Yay! Past that, creative stuff I'm going to talk about here. Part of this, of course, I have mentioned that in the cryptid setting, that eating and eating each other and human beings is part of the love language. I mean, we have love language as human beings where we will, you say just normal things talking to people. But there's also the things that you say that are just for your partner, or there's odd things that we say to others in normal conversation. Like if you're talking about a baby, you just say, oh, I just want to eat this baby up. They're so cute, I just want to squish them. And we say stuff like that right now. So cryptids, who are just a reflection of us, yes, when they meet their friends, they will say things like, hey, you look good enough to eat. And they mean it. They mean they look good enough to just eat. And, they would if they weren't friends. And when loved ones, like families, the Jacob Dempsey family and Jacob Dempsey and his family, they all, of course, do the standard cryptid love talk. When Jacob or Monica, back when the 3 daughters were young and they put them to bed, it was like, now don't forget, both mommy and daddy really want to eat you. Now we know you'd taste delicious, and we know you'd feel so good in our tummies. Now, are there some little girls here that want to eat mommy and daddy? And then, of course, they go, oh, yes, of course, we want to eat you. And then, if that was Jacob, he'd leave after they were all starting to, fall asleep with the light off. And Monica's just, you are so good with those children, Jacob Dempsey. Maybe it's my turn to eat you tonight. And he's just, oh, you promise? Because, yeah, when you say, oh, you smell delicious, God, you'd feel good in my tummy. They mean it. But the thing is, if you're of a family and you tell mommy and daddy that you want to eat them, yeah, you're telling them that because you love them. You want to eat them. They would feel good in your tummy. They'd be delicious. But you're also not going to eat them because you love them. Yeah, you want to eat them, but you want them to be around more than you want to just digest them. So it's a friendly love language that you use about talking about eating your friends, your loved ones, and all that. Niss and Kay, of course. Niss is able to keep her room at the boarding house after Kay has her third eye open. Kay is kind of screwed. As a human being whose third eye is opened, especially as wide as it has opened, she is no longer able to interact with normal human beings on any meaningful level without something like a booster, or not a booster, a damper or a cloaker to bring her presence down so that normal humans can interact with her cryptid presence. Even though she's a human being, her third eye is open, and more than 50% of her physical presence is made up of extra-universal bodily structures, brain structures, sensory organs, etc. So, since to the rest of the world, Kay vanished. Nobody knows where Kay went. And so there's not really a lot of people wondering. After all, she's on the lower end of things. The only people that would really worry would be her family. And she does get the use of dampers to go and talk to family. So they're not out of the picture. Every time else, though, she's just third eye open, and she's a part of the cryptid world now. Which means, of course, everything is different. She cannot deal with normal human beings except when using these devices from artisans. Her life has changed entirely. Now most of the people that are in the world that she can interact with are either cryptids, and most cryptids make no real effort to act like human beings, or people with their third eye open as well. Now, just because most cryptids don't bother to act human, of course, doesn't mean they're monsters. There's like Clausy and Alan. They are both previous generation cryptids. And while Clausy doesn't really like to be around people because people are just thinking all the time and she hates that, she doesn't want to hurt anybody. She just doesn't want to be frustrated by like people thinking all the time. And Alan is just a big dumb ball of happy. He's happy to interact with anybody. He enjoys it, and he's not going to hurt or eat anybody. He doesn't want to hurt anyone. Clausy will occasionally. But even these people, it's just shit. These are the individuals she has to interact with. And of course, as most cryptids, 98% of all urban cryptids and such, just because they're urban doesn't mean they act like we do. They live a little better than animals as they have for hundreds of thousands of years. The cryptids that deal most intimately with human beings act human. That is why Niss is as human as she is. She is an urban cryptid that deals intimately with human beings, like Monica, and then Jacob, and then her children. Even though Jacob is human and Annie, one of their children, is human, they're still all basically cryptid stuff. Try to remember where I was going with this. I know it was Niss and Kay and all that. I love ADHD, but try and remember here. Yes, the first time, this is where I was leading up. Niss tells Kay about the whole love language thing. She doesn't really believe it's going to happen. One morning before they have to leave the boarding house situation, when Niss is talking to her, she says something along the lines of, "Boy, you do smell good enough to eat." And then her tummy rumbles, as it does, because her body is getting ready to digest some human meat. And Kay, when she hears this, is surprised, because just like Niss told her, she finds that reassuring. Hearing a cryptid's body prepare to digest her, and she finds it reassuring. She knows she's not going to be eaten, but it gives a nice feeling. Now, of course, they have been friends, and I am thinking they're going to be more than friends, because I'm thinking before they abandon this whole boarding house situation, and Niss's family is going to be unhappy with her for a very short period of time, because she's going to drop out of normal urban society and become just a wild cryptid for a time. But since cryptids have broken moral compasses anyway, they're not going to be too bothered by it for very long. But Kay is busy playing computer games one night before they abandon the whole boarding house situation, and after her third eye is open, and Niss realizes that she has just been fantasizing for the past 10 minutes about eating Kay. Just wolfing down bloody mouthfuls of raw steaming meat and how good it would feel to be digesting Kay. And then she realizes that for the past 5 minutes, Kay has stopped playing computer games and is just sitting in the chair herself. And the thing about cryptids is, when they're feeling frisky, there's no confusion like there is with human beings. We have to go with just our regular senses. Cryptids have all sorts of extra universal senses. There is no question when a cryptid is feeling frisky, because there is the equivalent of like a perfume factory of pheromones coming out in the extra universal sense, just a flow of this stuff that you can't miss. You know when someone is feeling frisky. But if no one else is feeling frisky and you are, they don't even show up on your radar. Well, she realizes that she's watching Kay and feeling that way. And Kay has stopped because she has extra universal organs, and they're being flooded right now. So Kay is in this room with Niss, who is just overflowing with all of these, boy, I'm feeling frisky pheromones. And Kay, well, she's overloaded with this stuff and feeling frisky herself. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Gonna go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count in American Sign Language, well, you've already seen how my brain works. So, click is my dentures click in my mouth. We have Jesse Koskinen, who has been reading a lot. I used to read like 3 or 4 books at a time. I love ADHD. Thank goodness you are reading. A good thing. And then there's It's Relit, greatly appreciated, and I'm on my way. I'm getting there. Flora Mew, thumbs up, and yeah, it was amazing. I found chickens, and I wasn't even looking for them for real. Then we have Lewis, greatly appreciated, and thank you very, very much for all of the information on Minecraft. It is appreciated, and it has helped me a lot. Then we have JAYY, thumbs up, thank you. And yeah, that was great. Cleaning up all that stuff that fell yesterday. And then there is Larry from, let's see, 5, 6. Larry from Space, thumbs up and thank you. There is TOAN Your, thumbs up and thank you. And Shinra, yeah, I've got to look up in Wiki how to make string again. I thought for sure it was wool, but thumbs up and thank you much. Good to see you. We have 80s Gamer Lady, greatly appreciated, and A_squared. Then there is Sock_, greatly appreciated. Lieutenant Retro, whom with the comment, I don't know if they're a bot or for real, but here's hoping. Raining Zombies, I like the name, thumbs up and thank you. RJ Mitchell, greatly appreciated, and thumbs up, thank you very much. And it's very, very good to see you in the comments. Hopefully I can keep you interested in watching for some time. Then we have nobody else, so what is this, 14 people? 9 people? I couldn't tell you. It's some number of people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Greatly appreciated. Get me out of my head, into the world, and dealing with real people. It is appreciated. Well, thumbs up. I have therapy today, and then afterward, I think it's the second half of my Minecraft video I have to edit and then upload. Hopefully, if I don't fall asleep, I can get a solo RPG recorded for tomorrow. That would be very, very cool. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Hopefully you can get done the things that you want to get done that, well, whether they're important or not, it matters whether it's important or not to you. If you can get it done, good. If not, don't beat yourself up. Survival is important. And hokey smokes. If people are getting sick, please take appropriate precautions. If people are getting hurt, take appropriate precautions. And if you're out walking and you hear the sound of the bus horn, the bus with your name on it, really there are no precautions you can take. That bus is a-hunting. It's looking for blood. It's going to make a corpse. Hopefully, it ain't going to be yours. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and frankly, I think that is a very good thing.